Things off with the most talked about man in mixed martial arts, dare I say, the most talked about man in combat sports. You know that man, Dustin Poirier, just several days removed now from his big win over Conor McGregor in Abu Dhabi. Great to talk to him once again. There is so much to discuss with El Diamante. Appreciate his time as always. Dustin, how are you?
Good, man. How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great. And congratulations once again on
My energy.
how many times have you watched the fight at this point?
We watched it, because I fought early in the morning in Abu Dhabi and I didn't leave till later that night. So I had probably 12 hours between the fight and heading to the airport. So we went back to my hotel room there in Abu Dhabi with my coaches and we rewatched it there. And then when I got home, I rewatched it with my brother. So I've seen it a few times.
And I mean, obviously, you've had a tremendous career at this point, even if it ended today. And when you have this task in front of you that meant something to you 6.5 years ago, you've talked openly how that loss changed your life and your perspective on fighting and whatnot. Did you feel, number one, did you feel more anxious than normal, considering this is your chance to right this wrong, to put that one to bed? You had to talk about it for so long. Did you feel like in the days leading up to the fight, did it feel at all different than some of your other fights because of what he represented to your life and career?
No, I knew what a win would mean to my career and I knew how big of a superstar he is and all eyes would be on us, but I don't think that added anything, you
Okay.
know. Yeah.
What about the aftermath? I'm sure you've thought about exacting revenge. Did it feel as good, more, less than what you had dreamed about?
I don't know. I'm not sure. It felt good to win for sure. That felt good, and to win in that fashion, to knock him out, to stop him. Nobody's done that, so that felt good. But I honestly haven't looked back at it or went back. I didn't go back to the room and think of this whole thing like got you back. I still don't think that.
Okay. You have been, you and your corner have been, applauded for the great game plan, many different levels, like the takedown, the clinch, and obviously the calf kicks were huge in setting up the finish in the second round. Was the takedown and the clinch work, especially at the beginning of the fight, was that part of the plan, or was that something that just presented itself early on and you took advantage of it?
Well, we know I'm me and my team know I'm dangerous in the dirty boxing, in the clinch. So I thought I'd be able to land good shots there, and we also thought if it got there, we'd make him strain and get his arms full of blood and maybe take away some of the pop when we got back to the middle of the octagon. And the takedown, the plan was to be a mixed martial artist. It was the plan wasn't go out there, kick his leg, um, get a takedown. It was to do whatever's available, to use all of my weapons. That was the main thing preached throughout this whole training camp. To kick when I saw an opening, to punch when I saw an opening, throw elbows, to use my takedowns, to use my trips, to just show my full arsenal and try to beat him everywhere, chip away until an opportunity presented itself to end the fight. And in this one, it just presented itself a little sooner than I expected.
Were you surprised that, that lead leg was as exposed as it was throughout, even after those initial kicks? Like, were you expecting him to adjust?
In the heat of the moment, I wasn't really, I had no expectation from him to start making adjustments. I was just trying to fight and damage him. But I know from experience how bad those things hurt. And once that thing starts swelling and once you start feeling the pain from that, even when you check, it hurts. That's one of the most painful injuries I've ever had when I fought Jim Miller and he was calf kicking me. And that was a 3-round fight. So I knew if I just kept adding them up, I was making deposits and they were going to pay off.
One thing that I've seen analysts say over the past week is that he has changed his stance a little bit to a more conventional boxing style as opposed to
Look,
what he
dude,
had.
everybody's a damn analyst.
Yeah.
Everybody has something to say. This is motivated Connor. He loses. He's not. Oh, this was unmotivated Connor. He's not as loose as he used to be. He's more stiff now.
Mhm.
Everybody has something to say. I'm just. Those are all opinions to me, man. Like I've been preaching this whole damn training camp. That's all noise.
Right.
I knew who I was fighting, and I don't want to hear anybody else's breakdown of what they thought Connor looked like. Because if he would have starched me, everybody would be saying, "Wow, this is the best Connor's ever looked." So I don't give a.
I hear you. I was just curious. I was going to ask you if you agreed with that, if you agreed that he had changed his stance and if it was to his detriment.
Um, I think all of his fights, he's a little bit, a little bit different with the way he moves. Maybe he wasn't as open stanced as he was in some other fights, but I haven't done a side by side or a breakdown thing yet. I just go on Twitter and I see everybody's an expert.
Yeah,
Everybody's a body language expert.
yeah.
Everybody's saying I lost the fight before I walk out there. Get ready, Conor's in shape. He's more motivated than he's ever been. And then this is the stuff that makes me not enjoy mixed martial arts.
What, all the opinions?
It's just all the opinions, and they don't mean anything. I know that,
Right.
but just everybody's ability to chime in and have something to say on the, and I guess that's any sport.
Right.
I'm just so tired of what people think, honestly.
Speaking of that, one thing that really stuck with me is like literally seconds after the fight, I think you were talking to DC, and I think he confirmed that on Monday last week, where you said like, correct me if I didn't get the exact phrase correct, but like, didn't you say like, I hate this, or I hate this process, or something to that effect? What did you mean by that? Do you remember what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I told him, I said, I don't even love this anymore.
Yeah, you just got this massive win. Why say that? What prompted you to say that?
Because the whole week I felt that way, and it's been lots of fights that I felt that way. Just the process, I start to like, I just really don't enjoy the process. Everybody says you have to enjoy the process. I hate it. Only thing I like about mixed martial arts is the fight.
Hmm.
Of course, I enjoy the camaraderie and the fun times and the training and being in the gym with my friends and working on new stuff. I enjoy all that stuff, but just the whole thing of the way media plays stuff and the way these articles are written up and the way the fan base is most of the time, um, it's just a turnoff to me.
Is that
But
something like, can you
I
pin?
love the actual act of fighting. I
Okay.
love one-on-one competition, the purity of it, the truth of it. That's what keeps me in love with this whole thing, is that there's that's the light, that's the light at the end of the tunnel for me, is that no matter what, all these articles and all this other stuff and everybody, even the way fighters are getting known nowadays, talking trash and doing all this stuff, it's just so gross to me. I'm just so happy that fighting is always going to remain the truth. None of that stuff matters. What matters is the fight, and there's no hiding or faking that.
I was wondering if in the moment you meant like hurting another man, because this has happened to some fighters in the past. Like, even Ali talked about it towards the end of his career. Like, he didn't want to hurt people anymore. Like,
No, I want to hurt these guys.
okay. All right. One last thing on the actual fight itself. Did it at all increase your confidence early on when you were taking his best shot and this wasn't 178 all over again? And
When I sat on the stool after the first round, I felt good and I was excited to start the second round. I felt like things were moving in the way I wanted it to. I felt good. Yeah, my confidence definitely was growing, but I don't know if it was from eating shots. Yeah, I don't want to do that.
yeah.
And those shots I got hit with were good shots.
What is it like when the fight is over and you're backstage and there's all this hysteria and he's back there and Chandler? Now I can almost feel like I can almost like see the bullseye already on you, and you feel, and then you got to go talk to the media and you got to answer. Like, what is that experience? Very few of us will ever experience that, right? You're on top of the world. You shocked a lot of people. Most watched pay-per-view of the year thus far and all that stuff. And I know we're in January, but it's probably by the end of the year going to be one of the most watched. You know what I'm talking about? Well over 1 million. And now you got to go through like that car wash, and he's there and Chandler's there and Dana. What is that like for you? Does it like, can you even remember it, or is it dizzying?
Yeah, I would say I can't remember everything that happened, but it is like, you're still digesting what you just did, what you've been training to do for the last 10 weeks. You got that accomplished and you're just kind of, it's a lot going on. It's kind of, I remember everything, but it is like when I sit back and think about it, it's kind of blurry, man. It's a
Mm.
flash. It's crazy how quick you're here and there and how fast things happen.
Were you at all surprised with how cool he was about it? He seemed almost genuinely happy for you. There was a nice moment caught on camera between him and your wife. I thought it was awesome that your wife went back to thank him. Like, there was no friction, no nothing. Like, it was actually like kind of, it was amazing to see the respect between you guys after all these years. Were you surprised at all? It's one thing to do that before the fight, but after the fight could be different.
You know?
Did that surprise you?
I'm not surprised by that, but you're correct, man. To do it before is one thing, and then to lose in that fashion, and then to still be that guy. Good for him. Um, Nothing but respect for the guy. He was very respectful all week, and he got knocked down, and it happens to all of us. And this guy's a champion, and the ground is no place for a champion. I've said it again, and I've said it before, and I'll say it again. He'll rise if he wants to. He'll get back up, dust himself off, and see what's next. But he was very respectful all week, and that's all I got to say about it.
And so, speaking of what's next, here we are, 9 days removed. Have they reached out to you or your management yet about what they might want to do with you next? They, of course, being the UFC.
No, I haven't heard anything from them.
Are you surprised?
Kinda, but it's business, man. They'll reach out when they want something, when they want to fight, or when they have something. Maybe they haven't reached out because they don't have anything. They're still trying to figure it out. They need to have meetings and see what's next or whatever. I don't know the process with them.
Let's just say they call you up. I'm Dana White. Hey, Dustin, what do you want next? You're in the driver's seat. You're the, if Khabib is truly gone, you are the, most talked about man in the division. Everyone wants you, right? Everyone wants a piece of you. What do you want next?
We'll see. I don't know. I believe I'm the world champion right now. If Khabib's not fighting, I'm the world champion.
Would you like to be given the title if he says I'm done? There have been non-champions. Did you get pay-per-view for this one?
Listen, Ariel, I'm not asking you how much ESPN pays you.
No. I'm not asking for how much. I'm just saying, did you get a cut of the pie?
Me and my family are happy, man. I'm doing what I love to do and making a great living.
I think you deserve a cut of the pie, and there have been non-champions, as you know. You don't think they would do you versus Conor 3 for the belt? I could see them totally doing that.
Yeah, I mean, maybe so. I'll sit by my phone, continue to do what I'm doing, and when they call, we'll figure it out.
Would you be down with that?
I have no clue. I mean, it's 1-1. I knocked him out. He knocked me out. A rubber match. It does make sense.
Would it be fair to say one name we haven't talked about, which I have to ask you about, obviously, is Nathan Diaz, because he isn't always usually very clear about what he wants, and I think he's pretty clear that he wants you. He posted the picture. I'm sure you saw his tweet and all that.
Ass. I read it in his voice.
What do you make of that one? That option?
It's exciting. It's fun. Those are the kind of fights that I want to be part of, man. Fights that are exciting to me and that I'm motivated to get up and bust my ass every day. And that's exciting. That's a guy I grew up watching. A guy who's still a very big name. That's it. That's an exciting fight. I think the fans would be in for a great fight if that one happened.
So you'd be open.
Does it make sense? Does it make sense in the lightweight division? No. Does it make sense where I'm at, standing in the door front of a title shot? No. But it's a fun fight, and this is entertainment, and this is fighting. So
you'd be open to it. I want to make sure I'm 100% clear. Would it be fair to say Conor Trilogy is at the top of the list?
I want to be the world champ, man. That, I don't want to. I saw like a couple of reporters texting me and asking me stuff about, like, because I said I'm not in love with this no more. That doesn't mean that I'm not damn good at it.
Mm-hmm.
I do love the fight. I just don't like a lot of other stuff about this business, but I do love the fight. So people have been messaging me, asking me, hey, have we seen the last of you? Dude, I'm in my prime. I'm 32. I just turned 32 years old and I feel great. My physical and mental are finally on the same level. And I feel great. So I just want to clear the air. I am not by any means retired or thinking about retirement. I just in a position in my career where I want to be excited and I want fights that make sense. And I've cut my teeth and paid my dues and done everything you can to get in this position. And that's just it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to fight it unless it's exciting and it makes sense to me. Otherwise, these guys can fight each other and I'll watch.
Do you have a preference when you return? Like what month?
I'm healthy. I have zero, I'd like some time to be home with my family. We're building a new house. I'd like to be hands-on with some of that at the beginning of it. I just spent 9 weeks out in South Florida, but I'm not in a rush. But if something comes up, we'll see. I'm I'm open to whatever. I'm healthy. I just got to be excited, and it's got to make sense, and I'm in.
What was the reception like back home? I saw you got a few of those cakes, which
Oh man,
the king cake, right?
yeah, king cakes. I've eaten a few of them. They were dropping them off and knocking on my door. I woke up the day after I got home, walked outside and hit my foot on a box that somebody else left on my porch. Uh,
So just
it's
like
awesome, man.
random people
Yeah,
just dropping this off?
yeah.
Wow, that is amazing. How many do you think you got?
4 or 5.
That's amazing. And some of them you don't even
I
know. You don't even know who these people are.
Yeah, right.
Wow. And when you go around the moment, the respect that you deserve is a pretty amazing thing. You even got guys like Jake Paul calling you out. You've made it, Dustin. This is
I
big.
made it. I made it.
You gonna spar him?
I'm not sure. I
I
don't
don't
know when
know.
I'm going back to South Florida. I saw he's over there. He's out in South Florida.
Yeah, I don't know if you saw he threw out the offer for you to spar him before his fight against Ben.
I mean, I don't know if that's an offer.
You think it's just more for the internet?
Maybe so. That's these guys love, and the media and the fan base and stuff. That's what, counting followers and all that stuff. That's what I hate about this.
Right,
I
right.
love the old school. I love the old school, man.
I feel like
Just
you're taking.
bleed.
I feel. Are you saying you hate me right now? I feel like that's what you're saying. Is that what you're saying?
No, I love you, man. You're a
Okay,
great
all
guy.
right. Media, we kind of get all sensitive. You paint us with the same brush. All right. So where do you go
I'm
from
sure.
here?
Well, we'll see. We'll see. We'll see when this interview comes out. We'll see what
Uh-oh.
headlines you crop and
Oh, come
put
on.
stuff together in this thing. I can't wait. When you put this out, it's going to say Dustin Poirier calls out Jake Paul and Nate
No.
Diaz.
First of all, I don't make the headlines, just for the record, or
Okay.
pick the
All right. Yeah,
clips.
you said
But
you're keeping yourself safe. You're doing damage control before this thing even comes out right now.
no, no, no. I'm just saying.
Daniel
Listen,
Cormier makes the headlines probably. He's
he
working with
does.
you.
All right. Well, Dustin, I appreciate the time. Thank you very much. Good luck with what is to come. You got a lot of options out there, and I think the way you're handling it is the right way. So good luck to you, and thanks as always for coming on to talk to me.
My pleasure, man. Thank you.